Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading at MadWorldTarot. I was all set yesterday to read on Lilibet's 4th birthday, her alleged 4th birthday, done all my prep work, got everything organised, seen the photos with Meghan, the skin contact one, allegedly, seen the Harry photos, had the readings worked out, popped out to see an old friend, literally an elderly lady, said I'd pop in for an hour to check up on her. It ended up a very, very long visit. She had lots on her mind that needed an ear to hear it, basically. And that's my experience at the moment. It has been ongoing for the past few weeks. People have a lot to say and maybe not enough people around them to hear what they have to say. Anyway, so came home many hours later, very tired, too tired to do tarot, and stunned and amazed to see the twerking video doing the rounds. I was actually glad that I hadn't read on Lilibet's birthday, and that's what I'm doing now, reading on that twerking video, obviously, which everyone is talking about, which was obviously what Meghan wanted us to do. Deviant Moon Tarot on the tarot table. I'm going to do a Celtic cross. I'm going to look at this because Meghan kind of outed herself with just the Lilibet skin contact video. She said, "Happy birthday to our beautiful girl. 4 years ago, she came into our lives." That was on Instagram. She came into our lives. Very different from saying, "I gave birth to my beautiful baby girl." And then came the twerking video, and again on Instagram, 4 years ago, this also happened. Both of our children were a week past their due dates. So when spicy food, all that walking and acupuncture didn't work, there was only one thing to do, and then the cringe video. And anybody with eyes can see that that bump is really not an actual bump. I will say, in my opinion, and allegedly for legal reasons, but it's, it's pretty much out there, really. And everyone is commenting on it and everyone has things to say about it. So I'm not going to bang on about why I think it's not an actual real pregnancy bump. I've been in that camp from the word go, basically the Meghan camp. That's my personal opinion. For many reasons, which we won't go into, but I want to have a look at what's really going on. Is Meghan inadvertently outing herself because she's in a panic because there's so much conversation about the bump and the speculation, and all the stories she's told on her podcast have failed to silence the chatter and the comment and all of that? So is she panicking? Is she outing herself unwittingly, or is this trolling us? And Shauna from Vintage Reads had a very insightful video on YouTube earlier today, which I watched, and she said that she believes that this is massive trolling, that Meghan can plead if people point to the strange folding bump and the whatever else that was going on there. Meghan can say, well, this was for Netflix, we shot this for Netflix, it looks very rehearsed, practiced, choreographed, and we were just reenacting whatever happened, and we were doing it because they did reenact scenes. I think even the engagement, the proposal scene and stuff like that. So that was, I thought, quite interesting, quite a plausible explanation. Meghan gets eyes, she trolls us, she knows what's going on, and then she can always say, well, that actually was just a reenactment, so there, and so where. So I thought that was interesting. I'm going to do, as I said, a Celtic cross. I'm going to look at the royals next and how they're going to respond to this unbelievably crass display. I mean, it was mind-bogglingly crass, so vulgar, so common, so degrading for all concerned. And, so many questions raised that even people who previously have not been in the Meghan camp are now sort of scrambling over to that side of things. Anyway, as I said, this is going to be a Celtic cross. We're going to read from Meghan's point of view. What's she up to? What's her state of mind? What's challenging her? What's her motive for doing this? Her goal? What has led to this response to this? Some people are speculating she's trying to wind Harry up as well, that maybe he's done one of his famous disappearing acts and she wants to send a message to him, sort of shot across the bows, because of course he was twerking away just as enthusiastically as she was. So complicit in all of that. So we're going to ask how Harry feels about all of this and where this is heading from Meghan's point of view. Celtic cross. Very important that I remind you, this is tarot and it's for fun and entertainment, or my opinion, or speculation. And of course, I just read energy, excuse me. And there is a disclaimer in the box below. Let's see if we can figure out whether she's panicking or whether she's trolling us. What's going on? How does Harry feel about it? And where this is going to end, because many questions are being asked as a result of this video. Questions that some people have been up until now rather wary about asking, especially if they're very much in the public eye, mainstream media, that sort of thing. They've been very cautious about raising these questions. Even allegedly Neil Sean has been quite brazen in the last few days, expressing his opinion. We get the lovers and there they are dancing away, their debauched little dance that they put on for us and then put on Instagram that we had to watch through our fingers and sort of wincing and cringing. But there they are, the lovers, and it's a message that we're so in love, we're so together, we are partners in this. We were partners in the Lilibet story, the origins and the delivery of Lilibet. It's all there in that energy. It's to send a message to us about their relationship and the choices that they have made as a couple as well. To say very much we are together still, even if you haters, you derangers, as she likes to call us, even if you derangers doubt it, look at us, there we are. So that's interesting that has needed to show itself to us. The Lovers card. Heart of the reading, Meghan. What's the situation she's in? And she's in a very tricky situation. It's the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is about communication and forward movement and progress. And it's also Cupid's arrow. You can't really see it because we're in the Deviant Moon Tarot. But sometimes it's arrows that are literally shooting and love bombing someone. It's in reverse. So the love bombing isn't working. Lovers, and I'm using that expression because of the lovers as the underlying energy, and a lot of people speculating that this is a very direct message to Harry. You can't disappear on me now. I know too much, and you were complicit. That's a speculation. That's a theory that is being articulated quite widely around and about. So that is why I am saying that about the 8 of Wands in reverse. I normally wouldn't express that energy as the first energy, but I am today for those reasons. The other thing about the 8 of Wands is it's communication, it's messaging, it's in reverse. That means that something about the message that she's sending out is wrong, is distorted, isn't landing the way she wants it to land. And allegedly, from the people who follow social media much more closely than I do, the little chorus was ready and waiting for this video to drop. And it's interesting, first of all, there was the Meghan photos with Lilibet. Then there were questions about where's the has-been, and so suddenly was the has-been couple of photos. And then boom, came the third round of Lilibet tribute. Archie only got one photo from behind, of course, the poor lost child looking out to sea as the sun set over him. Lilibet got a whole day and the twerking. But now I've lost my train of thought. The chorus, the enthusiastic chorus, was all primed and ready when this video dropped on Instagram to cheer it on and say, oh, how wonderful, and aren't they cute and so loved up, and you know, she's got the moves, he's got the moves, da 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 da. And then, of course, the horror from the viewing public, the horror, the screams of horror, the press, the mainstream media is cringing, saying how crass it was and tacky and disgusting. And so the chorus was silenced, or the chorus has had to go on the defensive. That's the Eight of Wands in reverse. It's telling me she thought this would land very well. And who would have thought that? But she obviously did. It landed the opposite way to the way she thought it would. So I'm getting that she didn't really think she was outing herself. She hasn't gone crazy. I'm thinking she thought we'd see this as cute and fun. And, you know, the hip happening couple. That kind of thing. Yes, cringe at even that expression. What's her challenge with all of this? We got the King of Cups and it's in reverse. This tells me, normally I'd say William or Pa, King Charles, but it's not their energy there. The challenge is, I think, that Harry has gone cold and isn't answering phone calls maybe, or isn't showing up, or hasn't done what he needed to do. Remember the wedding anniversary, the 7th wedding anniversary, not a murmur from him, not a word. Where was he on that day? She had to Photoshop all those things, allegedly put out that ridiculous mood board thing. And now here we have it with Lilibet's birthday as well. Where's Harry, the real Harry, with his own tribute to his daughter, or jointly with Meghan, and an actual live Lilibet on her alleged 4th birthday? Can't produce that, so got to produce this twerking thing on Instagram so that we believe that they're still so happy. But there's the King of Cups in reverse, gone cold, just icy energy that's coming through from me, from that King of Cups, that I think that is what's going on. That is how it's reading for me. I'm not really getting so much panic about being exposed with the things that go bump. It's not coming through that way. It's more, she was trying to send a message about their situation as a couple and how tight they still are, and then nobody was buying it and everyone was saying, make it stop, it's horrific. So what's going on behind the scenes down here in the dungeons and the depths? We've got the Ace of Pentacles, and that's a money card. It's a needing to make money very urgently. This isn't wanting to silence critics. This isn't a poke in the eye for the royals. This isn't any of that. This is more as if it's almost going to Netflix, needing that deal to be renewed. And we're hearing that that's the reason why suddenly she's restocking her sloppy jam, her spread, because Netflix had a bit of a freak out. Neil Sean's story, I need to read on that. I've got a huge, long list of things to read on. But this tells me we're in that sort of energy, my opinion. Ace of Pentacles, needing to prove that she can draw attention to herself, that she's still newsworthy, she's worth renewing a Netflix contract or a Limonada deal or something like that. She needs money, really, is basically what I'm saying. She also needs to possibly monetize Lilibet. She mentioned it very directly when she was talking to Tina Knowles in that last surprise episode of the Ridiculous podcast. There it is, Ace of Pentacles. I think times are tough financially in Montecito, in my personal opinion. Her goal with this, we keep asking the same question, but just from different ways. And I've got the Fool in reverse. And what I get, you could say she's wanting to fool us. There is that energy. So I think Shauna could be onto something. I don't think it's the main impulse in this. I think it's parked in her back pocket. If we all say, oi, that bump, looks like a towel stuffed under your dress, then she can say, well, we were just reenacting it. The cameras were rolling and we were just having fun. And that is the Fool. Wanting to look silly and playful, and aren't we just the dear sweet fun couple? And this is what every couple does when the woman is a geriatric pregnancy and she's allegedly put on 65 pounds. She must have lost the 65 pounds on the way to hospital, in my opinion, because there was no sign of them as she was twerking away. But look, see how fun we are. The previous time in London with Archie, we were, it's a gas, all of that stuff. And then home we went 2 hours later. This is the same kind of vibe that's coming through for me. See this young couple in love and how happy we were, dancing away, welcoming baby Lilibet. Okay, lead up to this, what's been going on? We're just checking. King of Swords. King of Swords is a quite threatening energy for me in this context, because it could be a lawyer, it could be a divorce lawyer, it could be a Netflix threat, it could be what on earth are you thinking, saying, well, I'm taking a step back from my brand and I'm not restocking because I don't really know what my brand is and who I am, and I'm still figuring that out at 43 or 7 or 9 or 52, whatever she is. So I think she's under some sort of time constraint. That King of Swords doesn't normally read like that for me, but today it is like a deadline, like an ultimatum. You get to work, you restock your jam, you get back in the kitchen, you prove to us that you are interesting, that you get clicks, that you can get headlines. Prove to us that we need to renew your contract. We need to get back in the kitchen with you and film the next bit. We know that she's got the first half or the second half of the first bit that's going to be streaming quite soon, apparently. But they have told us that she's going to be filming the third season, as they like to call it, early next year, and there's going to be all the new product and blah, blah, blah. This tells me that there is a bit of pressure there, time pressure, threats, people maybe pointing at clauses in contracts and saying, you need to be aware of this. Almost like, you haven't done something by so-and-so time, then we're going to start, what's the word? Punishing, is that the right word? Like penalizing you for it, for not performing. I'm getting that kind of energy, strange energy, very, very threatening. It's very threatening, and it's got the also the hint of divorce in it as well. Has been maybe wanting out of the situation. What's going to happen next with this? Just generally from Meghan's perspective, what energy is coming towards her with this? And we've got the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. This is not going to work. It's not going to pay the bills. It's not going to bring home the bacon. Not with that 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. We might actually hear about contracts that are lost, and lost because it's not working out. So she's not working hard enough. What I've been going on about with the jam and the Netflix and the, how dare you just take a pause. You can't just take a break when you feel like it. If you've got a business to run, you can't. The most terrible things can be going on in your private life, and you still have to show up and you still have to do what you have to do. That's how life goes. So I think we're going to hear about some lost deals in the near future. Interesting. How does Harry feel about this monstrosity, this obscenity? That's a strong word, but that's how I feel. We've got the 7 of Cups in reverse. This is seeing things clearly. This is like a shock. The ice bucket, when someone pours that ice bucket over you and you're like, oh, goodness me, what was I thinking? This is now real. Upright, you can be a bit under the influence. Cups, always the potential. 7 of Cups is possibilities, opportunities, being deluded, pie in the sky, thinking that, you've got endless opportunities, endless horizons. You can do no wrong. Everything you touch will turn to gold. It's that kind of energy. It's in reverse. Whenever this was filmed, whether it was filmed before the actual delivery of Lilibet or during the delivery or after the delivery, as some people speculate, that bed looked like it had actually been occupied by someone, there, shall we say allegedly, or weeks later or months later when they were filming for Netflix and needed some quick retakes, or we need some more fun, come on guys, that kind of thing. Whatever, whenever this all happened, way back when he was in 7 of Cups energy upright, he was being possibly love bombed. I've mentioned that word already in this reading. Love is underlying energy. he possibly was really infatuated. As I say, he might have been under the influence. He himself has admitted as much, that he has had quite a time with substances in his life. He's not anymore. He's not in that same energy anymore. He's now seeing things, in my opinion, very differently. And there's a little bit of horror in there when you do suddenly think, really? I was so caught up in that. I was so swept away in that energy. And now it's kind of coming across like that for me as an energy reader. Pressure. Let's get back to Meghan. If I sound like I'm shivering, it's because I am. It's really cold. I was really warm when I started this reading. I had had an all singing and dancing afternoon. And let's just say, it's we got a real storm hitting us this weekend, and the temperatures are just plunging, the sun's going down, and it's getting really cold. Okay, pressure she's under. We've got the Star card, which is to be a star, obviously, in her life. It's optimism, hope, faith, finding your path, finding your celebrity. She really wants us to believe that she is the star of the show, that she honestly and truly gave birth. I mean, that is a very giving birth kind of an energy in this, with the water and the bit of a bump kind of a thing going on there and all of that this is really who she is. She wants us to believe that. She needs us to believe that. This is about pressure that's coming. It's coming, interestingly, normally in that position in Celtic Cross, it's coming from outside. I think it's her own psyche that's putting this pressure on her. But she's got pressure as well from that King of Swords from Netflix. She's got pressure from Lemonada. She's got pressure from all around her to perform, to be the star, and to make money, and to become the level of celebrity that they expected her to be when she arrived in California with a prince in tow and all those deals. Big pressure on her to make this happen. And she's not going to make it happen. She very clearly has failed. And I think this might have been the last opportunity, the last moment, when the failure became apparent to everyone. Even Harry, with that Seven of Cups in reverse, seems to be seeing the failure for what it is now, the cringe for what it is. The tackiness, possibly even. I don't know if he can see that clearly. Hopes and fears for Meghan. And we've got the Page of Pentacles. Another contract card. Very contractual energy in this reading. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Deals. Deals failing. Deals being withdrawn. Deals not being offered. Pages are children as well. So merching. She wanted to merch Lilibet. Maybe she did almost show her face on that boat with no life jacket. Again, poor Lilibet seems forever being taken to sea by her negligent, in my opinion, parents without the requisite safety precautions. But it looks like she's really worried that the deals just aren't coming that she was expecting, or that the deals are being taken away. Even worse, maybe. I don't know. Outcome for her as a result of putting this reel up and leaving us all reeling, and sorry for that lame pun. Where's this heading? And we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. This is not going to go well for her. Interesting that there's a bit of a dancing thing going on here, sort of more Bollywood style dancing. But the Two of Pentacles is juggling, is almost taking money from one hand to pay the other hand. It's that saying which I can never remember, taking from Peter to pay Paul or something like that. I'm sure I've butchered it, but it's that kind of energy that's coming through, and it's in reverse. So it's like she's dropped the ball with this. If she thought that she was going to convince us all, and she was going to keep the story spinning, and she was going to be able to keep us all enraptured even, or if she was going to be able to walk this tightrope with us all watching, when's she going to drop the ball? Is she going to drop the ball? Is this all going to come crashing down? Well, there comes the crashing down. And the crashing down comes for various reasons, because she can't keep the story spinning. She can't keep us mesmerized. These plates up in the air, gravity's going to take hold, they are going to come crashing down. The story is coming crashing down now, that this narrative that she actually gave birth to these children, in my opinion, allegedly, blah blah blah. But it's also a financial crisis there. As I said, she's having to take from a situation in order to put money into a situation somewhere else. They don't have enough money. Ace of Pentacles in reverse, needing this Ace of Pentacles. This is the motives to merge. But the Page of Pentacles is in reverse. The King of Swords is on her neck saying, come on, you need to deliver. The Star, the pressure to be the star. And she's just feeling that she's going to lose this all. It's not really about Harry. There is Harry in here. Even this King of Cups could be a Netflix person who's kind of lost interest and isn't so supportive. It could be old King of Wands, what's his name? Sarandos. It could be him who's no longer that enchanted with her and her tricks, and that she's feeling very blocked and frustrated. As a result, I am getting that Harry's kind of done a disappearing act here. But she's trying to be coquettish. She's trying to be cute. She's trying to be fun and frivolous and love me do. She's trying to portray herself with Harry as this loved up couple. It's not working at all. But the stress in here is about money, is about merching, is about what is she going to do. She's running out of ideas. She's running out of people who are going to believe what she is telling them, because so many people now no longer believe a word that is said on anything she does, basically. So there it is. It looks like she's really under pressure, is the bottom line of this reading, but more under financial pressure, work pressure, than the bump narrative that's unraveling. The two are connected, and the outcome is that she's going to drop contracts, she's going to drop deals, she's going to drop money. She might also the bump narrative might just come crashing down as well with that Two of Pentacles. An interesting card. It's quite normally in tarot, quite an insignificant little card. I think in this reading, it actually tells that both are going to go boom, boom, crash at the same time, and maybe quite soon. I'm not getting that this is a story that's going to go on for very much longer in this current form. That's just my opinion, of course. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.